people, what's going on, welcome back to the channel. As always, make sure that you lot are smashing up the likes, make sure that you are subscribing to the channel. Road to 10k, like I keep saying, people. But let's get straight into it, man, because right now in London, it is fucking boiling, bro. Yeah? Excuse my French, but I'm sorry, bro. It's so hot right now. It's peak. You know what I mean? But it was nice, man. I went out, I got myself some Wingstop. You know what I mean? I went for a little picnic and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I had the game on my iPad. I had the Liverpool game on my phone. And life is just good right now, people. Yeah? Life as a Chelsea fan right now is fantastic, bro. Breath of fresh air, bro. Going into every single game right now with the belief that we're going to win. Yeah? Going into every game right now that when we concede, yeah? Not even concede. Okay, when we concede, we're going to come back. As long as there's enough time, we're going to come back. Yeah? If we score first, good luck scoring more than one goal, bro. Yeah? Good luck scoring more than one goal. Because like I said the other day, the structure of this team is not a joke, bro. It is not a joke. Yeah? AC Milan put out a strong lineup, bro. They had Loftus-Cheek starting. They had Leao starting. Yeah? They had a lot of their main players starting in this game. But we made them look just like any mediocre team. And start of the game, listen, there was a few gaps in the middle. Like, obviously, Enzo just came back into the lineup. You know, he looked a little bit leggy in this game. Like, let's be real, people. The guy just came back. I saw him on Cucurella, yeah, on Instagram, eating some paella, bro. This paella, I've never seen paella in such a big dish, yeah? Man's just been yamming away, bro. This guy's got to dust off the cobwebs because today, you know, he wasn't looking at it. But again, I'll allow him because it's the first game back. I had a game in the morning myself and I bagged. I can't lie, I bagged, yeah? But it was hot. You know what I mean? I was in the warm-up, I was blowing already, people. You know what I'm saying? So I can empathize with him because I know it's the first game back. You feel me? Yeah? But in terms of, you know, the game overall, you know what I'm saying, was building up again as we usually do in that free. You know what I'm saying? You had Tosin that was a little bit shaky at the start of the game. You know, he didn't have the best start into the game. He grew into it in the second half, to be fair to him. And in the first half, he made a little bit of a nice challenge. But again, he was a little bit off balance, man. There was one moment where one guy must have just chopped it and he was all over the place. So today wasn't his best game. And as you would expect, I was seeing people going crazy on the TL as if he does this every single week. I don't see Tosin make these sort of mistakes, bro. He had an off start to the game. It happens. I see top centre backs have games like that sometimes where they're a little bit off and then they grow into the game, bro. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't get an upgrade, of course, because I would love upgrades. But let's not act as if Tosin does that every single game, because that's what people like to do. There's never a middle point, bro. It's always just so polarized on either side. It's so irritating, bro. I found myself muting people on the timeline again today, bro. You know what I'm saying? This fan base is just full of some crybabies, honestly, bro. Some wimps, yeah. But like I said, I don't think he had the worst game. He grew into the game, like I said. But listen, you had Cucurella that was sort of inverting into the middle. You had obviously Palmer that was playing in the midfield along with Enzo. You had Gittins on the left hand side who started the game off quite well. You know, very sharp on that side. He's actually the guy who won the foul, which led to the goal that we scored, the first goal that we scored. Reece James, quality on that free kick that he took there. You know what I mean? Because end of the day, bro, when you whip it like that, it's so dangerous because the power that you're putting into that whip, it can just come off of someone. It can come off one of our players. Like you saw today, it came off of one of their players. The quality in that guy's set pieces, bro, mad. You know what I'm saying? Mad. So I'm happy that we scored quite early because it allowed the game to open up a little bit more as well. Because their plan today, I'm telling you now, Milan's plan today was to just sit back, soak up the pressure and try and get us on the break, right? But we were all over these guys, bro. Yeah? The ball goes out to Neto. Neto was just warm in this game, bro. Neto right now, yeah, is playing like a guy who's been playing for Chelsea now for over a year and he understands the level that is expected at this club, right? He understands that Esteval is there ready for him to slip up if he doesn't take on his man. If he's not direct, bro, yeah? If he's not scoring goals, if he's not creating, yeah? And last season, even though he was underwhelming at the start, second half of the season, I thought he was actually good in the second half. First half of the season, in the little bedding in period, even though he weren't great, he was still putting in some fantastic crosses like what he did today. Issue that you've got, you had guys like Jackson that were ball watching, bro. Yeah, the game's being played, but my man's watching the game as if he's sitting in the stands with me, bro. Yeah, I went to a lot of games last season where I'm watching Jackson's off the ball movement where Neto's got the ball, and this guy was nowhere to be seen in that danger zone. So many crosses are going in into the danger zone, and my man's nowhere to be seen to get his head on it. Yeah, and that guy's not short. You know what I mean? But Pedro Neto, yeah, those whips, bro. This season, he's going to be getting more assists from those whips because Delap, I haven't seen much of Delap in the air, to be fair, but he doesn't look like someone that can't get his head on the ball, bro, because his movement is very good. His timing is very good. We'll speak about him as well because he had a good performance today. Very good performance off the bench, right? But João Pedro's heading is something that I actually spoke to Matisse about because Matisse likes to talk about heading when it comes to attackers and that. And I said, bro, João Pedro, have you not seen this guy's headers? He even scored a header against Chelsea in Poch's season, right? When we played Brighton, one of the goals that they scored from a corner, it was him. If you go check the variety of headers this guy scored, he knows how to head the ball, right? He knows how to direct it. He knows when to time it so you can get the power in there. Because with heading, if you don't time the headers correctly, your jump and that, it's just gonna go over you. You're gonna mishit it. Some people close their eyes like what Gusto did against Arsenal at home. You know what I mean? You need to make sure that your eyes are coordinated with the ball. That's what you got to do, and you got to make sure that you're timing it, right? That was perfect there because Pedro and Pedro, Neto and Pedro, right? They obviously made a bit of eye contact there, and obviously Neto whips in the ball. João Pedro's there, and that's 5 goals in 5 for João Pedro right now. Yeah, this guy's actually exceeding my expectations, bro. I didn't expect him to be coming in and doing a madness like this instantly. Yeah, very, very good footballer. One of my guys actually said, I don't think he's going to be bagging many goals like that. I said, bro, he's playing around better players now. João Pedro is playing around better players. When he was at Brighton, when I used to watch the Brighton games, it felt like he had to do everything. He felt like he had to do everything. Going to the wing, going down the middle, going up top. At Chelsea, yes, he likes to get involved in the game, but with the amount of quality that we have, the likes of Palmer behind him, Neto behind him, Esteval behind him, Gittins behind him, he ain't got to worry too much about doing too much. Yeah? He actually ain't got to worry too much about doing too much, people. Because he's got other people in those roles who are quality and are going to keep feeding him, going to keep linking up with him, right? So he can just focus on scoring goals, yeah? And creating for other people as well. He ain't got to worry about dropping all the way deep and doing all these things. I don't want to be seeing that. That's what Caicedo and Santos are there for, yeah? That's what Caicedo and Enzo are there for. That's what Palmer is there for. You stay up, yeah, and link up when you need to, and you stay in that danger zone, because I don't want to be seeing Neto whipping in crosses like today and there's nobody there, because that's going to get me mad, yeah? That's one thing that you see with Nkunku. When Nkunku's up top, there's nobody in the box because he doesn't like that position, right? But João Pedro's IQ seems to be sharper in that position. Brilliant finish from him. And on the ball as well today, I can't fault him, right? I thought Gittins on the left-hand side was dangerous to start off the game. He finds himself in many situations to score, this guy, man. Honestly. The angles he creates for himself, the separation he creates for himself, he's very good at that. But he just needs to take time on the finishing. He's putting a little bit too much power on it. On FIFA when you hold circle and it goes past the red bar. That's what he was doing today. Because he should have had at least 2 goals, if anything. Yeah? The third shot that he had, he could have even laid it off to Esteval in the second half. You know what I'm saying? But I thought today he had a good little cameo there. You can see the quality on the ball. You can see when he's running, he actually runs with his head up. He's not dribbling with his head down, right? The skill that he's got, you know what I'm saying? The little link up I saw today as well. Because in terms of little tight areas, he ain't the best. But today it weren't bad. You know what I mean? So, listen, that's something that Maresca's going to be, watching back with him today to say, yo, listen, when you get in that position there, just, you ain't got to bang it. It ain't got to be off the bar in every single time. Sometimes just place it, bro. Just caress it like what Palmer does. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to score more goals, right? But I thought he had a good cameo today. Like I said, very impressed with Neto today. Obviously, you had Caicedo in the midfield. And again, this guy just a 7 out of 10 minimum every single week. Minimum 7 out of 10 every single week. Like, he's one of the few Chelsea players that I'm more than happy to call world class. Caicedo for me is world class, yeah? The trophies will solidify it and that. But when I'm watching this guy and I'm looking at all the other DMs and the DMs that I've watched in my lifetime, like, well, Kante is not a DM, but a lot of the DMs, a lot of the ball destroyers that I like over the years, he's right up there. right up there, bro. And this guy's just a complete midfielder, you know. The way we're just popping the ball today, you know, when Milan were trying to press us, man's just moving it. Everything's so easy for this guy. Everything is so easy for this guy, bro. His IQ is just up there, yeah. Like I said, I don't think Enzo had a great game today. I'm not gonna overly cook him because it's his first game back, but I thought Caicedo had a good game. See Reece James, bro, yeah, like honestly, this guy, he's the best right back in the world. He's the best right back in the world. He just needs to maintain his fitness. That's the only thing. Some of the defending today, bro, against a Liao, once again, because I remember when we played these guys when we finished 12th, and he locked up Liao in that game. Because that was a game when he got injured, when he hurt his knee and he was out for a second. Yeah? He locked him up, right? Again today, there was a moment where the ball kind of, you know, goes into the box. It was basically, they were through on goal. They went around Sanchez. They're about to finish. He's just there to clean up. He is so good defensively, bro. We might not be seeing him bombing up and down and that, but I'm telling you now, if that's going to maintain Reece for 30 games a season, and we're not seeing Reece for 6 games a season, so be it. Yeah? He's still going to be putting in dangerous balls. I saw him putting a dangerous ball in the second half as well. Man just whipped it across the goal. First, it was Gittins that did it, and then it was Reece that just whipped it across the goal, bro. Yeah? Serious. He's another one that's world-class, bro. World-class defender. World-class player, bro. It's so long, bro. I'm thinking, like, so many attackers, right? You know, you always say, like, certain fullbacks don't want to be coming up against guys like Gittins. But guys like Gittins, when they come up against Reece, they're thinking, oh, shit. You know what I mean? I won't be surprised if guys like Gittins and Estevao and that, when they're training with Reece, they're struggling. But it's good for them anyway, because when you're training with a guy like Reece, that is advanced level, yeah? So if you're managing to go past him a couple times, that means that during the season, you should be able to beat more of these fullbacks, because defensively, right back, there's no one better than this guy in the league. There's no one better than this guy in the world, in fact. I like Hakimi, but Hakimi defensively ain't the greatest. He's good going forward, but so is Reece when you play him going forward, yeah? But defensively, when you're talking about being a complete fullback, he is up there, bro, and his leadership, he just brings so much calmness to the back. When you've got Reece there, you know that you're good, yeah? He was covering 2 positions today, and he was doing it without even complaining, bro, yeah? Without even complaining. Certain man are fucking up, he didn't really say much to them. That's one thing that he probably goes to them after the game and says, you know what? Yeah, that situation there, you should be patterned, right? Because Reece doesn't seem like the type of captain that shouts and that. Other captains will be shouting at their teammates. With Reece, you know, is a little bit calmer with it. You know what I'm saying? But I hope he's having those conversations, right? But I thought he was brilliant today. Again, Cucurella today, just another top performance. He's another one that I call world class as well. 7 out of 10 minimum from this guy. And obviously you had Sanchez in goal. In the first half, you know, there was a save that he had to make off his chest, which was a solid save there as well. Second half, listen, we made quite a few changes. Delap comes on, you know, Santos comes on, essugo comes on, and you see this essugo guy, bro. Yeah, why is he so good? It's so scary. It's so scary how much of a clone he is to Caicedo, bro, because they're so similar. When he's there in the midfield, I just feel safe the way I feel safe with Caicedo, right? And this is where I keep telling people in terms of our defense, like, obviously, you know, we might be getting a centre-back now because Cole was not available. And again, the right centre-back situation, personally, I don't think we're going to buy anyone now because Fofana is obviously still at Chelsea. We're not looking to sell him. So they're probably hoping that he can stay fit. I don't see him staying fit. But the good thing about this team is even if essugo doesn't start the game, you bring him on to play next to Caicedo. You bring Santos to play next to Caicedo, yeah? Or Caicedo comes off and essugo comes on. You're not losing that physicality. You're not losing a ball winner. If anything, you're adding a ball winner, right? So if you're playing Caicedo and essugo together, how the hell are teams going to get through that? You got Caicedo on one side and essugo on the other side. The ball ain't even getting to the centre-backs. The ball ain't even getting to Sanchez, yeah? So this is something that people aren't thinking about. They're not thinking about the structure of the team. They think it's just, oh, it's just the centre-backs that defend. It's just your full-backs that defend. Everyone in this team defends. Everyone that is playing, bro, from the wingers to the strikers to the midfielders, we counter-press. And this team, in terms of off the ball, it reminds me of what I used to watch when I used to watch Man City in their prime. Everyone used to look at Man City and just look at what they were doing on the ball, the goals they were scoring, and Sane, Sterling, and all of these guys, bro. They used to work off the ball. All those guys never had an ego off the ball. They knew that they're going to win that ball back and keep you in your own area, bro. Keep you in your own half. And that's how you're going to maintain pressure. That's how you're going to demotivate teams, yeah? As a team, when you're winning the ball back and the other team's not letting you play, you get demotivated mentally, bro. It's mentally draining, right? And many teams are going to be mentally drained when they play Chelsea because the way that we just crowd, man, is peak. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's very, very peak, yeah? So today, again, like I said, essugo, I thought he was brilliant when he came on, yeah? I thought Santos, again, he was tidy when he came on. You could just see the IQ, bro. You know, he got the assist for Delap's goal. We'll talk about Delap separately, but he got the assist for Delap's goal. Esteval comes on, bro, and you just see the quality, man. Yeah, man's just running past someone, timing when to actually accelerate, stop, start, not predictable. Like I said the other day, puts across the box there as well, which is quite good. He wins the penalty as well when Delap came on, bro. Today we actually played, you know, towards Delap's strengths. He was getting on the ball more. Yeah, man comes on, he just whips it across the box, and this is what I'm saying about Delap, bro. This guy's got so much tech on the ball. He's not just your typical link-up guy. Like, João Pedro might be better on the ball, yes. But Delap ain't no slouch on the ball. He's not like a Haaland on the ball, bro. He's better than a Haaland on the ball. He's better than guys like Gyökeres and that on the ball. I'll be real. And his ball striking is amazing. Yeah? That second goal, bro, the way he was just there positioned in the space. He likes that little zone. That's one thing I've noticed about him, bro. He likes that little zone. He just peels off. And to just slap it the way that he did, bro, bottom bins is so nice. That is the thing about this team right now. The ball striking in this team, Esteval, Gittins, yeah, Palmer. You have João Pedro. You've got Delap. You've got Enzo. You've got Xavi Simons, bro. Yeah, when he comes, hopefully. Even Garnacho, as much as I don't want the guy, he knows how to strike the ball as well. The levels of ball striking in this team have gone up. We won 4-1 today. Obviously, they got a man sent off, but again, that was because of brilliant play. Right, I would have liked to have played them with 11 men, but end of the day, bro, it was a red card, didn't it? You know, you can't really just allow it. Yeah, it was a bit shameless, but he had to do what he had to do because João Pedro was through on goal. You pull him, you bring him down. It has to be a red card. You know what I mean? It has to be a red card. But you know, they changed up their shape a little bit. They were quite brave, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? The goal that they scored was a good goal. The defending there was atrocious, man. People were just ball watching a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They get their little goal there as well. But overall, we just bullied these guys. It was honestly watching the game. I didn't feel under any threat. I did not feel under any threat, bro. Yeah, Gusto came on. Just right now, he's looking like the Gusto of old. I'm hoping that, you know, he'll be locked in going forward because we know what Gusto was like the first year that he came. Last year he looked like an imposter, bro. But listen, I don't want to be seeing Maresca playing, man, you know, in the little half spaces and that, because you've got a lot more players now that can play in those spaces. We don't want to be seeing Gusto there, bro. Yeah? I don't want to be seeing Gusto there. Yeah? Hato came on. I didn't really see much of him in the second half, in all honesty. Right? But, like I said, Liam Delap, when he came on, bro, he helps us win the penalty. He takes the penalty, the ball striking again for the penalty. That must have been 70 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour on that shot. Right? This team is serious, people. This is a serious team. I spoke about how our attack was last season many times, how we kept dropping points. A lot of our points that we dropped, yes, Maresca might have been to blame for some of them. Yes, you know, those individual mistakes and that at the back. But the overall picture, the overall thing, at the end of the season, we had the third best defense. Our midfield outperformed anyone else's with the GA, with the creativity, you know what I'm saying, with the goals, with Caicedo in there, bro. It was the attack that let us down time and time again. From time you've got Cucurella, that was your highest goal scorer in 2025, you know there's a problem with your attack. That should never be the case, right? I don't see a situation now where going into 2026, Cucurella is our highest goal scorer. That's not happening again. João Pedro's not letting it happen. Delap's not letting it happen. Palmer's not letting it happen. Palmer right now is playing with a weight lifted off his shoulder because it's not all on him. It's not all on him right now, bro. He knows that I've got João Pedro, I've got Delap, I've got Gittins, I've got other players in the attack that can contribute. It's not just all on me. And when you have that responsibility kind of taken off of you a little bit, because listen, he's still one of the key players. He knows you have to put up numbers, and he will put up numbers. But when you know that it's not just you can just play your game freely now, because he can just give it to Esteval and trust Esteval. Now, Maresca can start to bring Palmer off the pitch because Palmer, we don't need to be rinsing him out, playing him 90 minutes every game. If the game's done, 3-1 up, yeah, take him off. Cup games don't start him. You bring him off the bench, right? Now Palmer's going to be coming off more often now because of the quality in the team, yeah? The ball striking, the finishing in this team, bro. We are being really, really clinical. We're taking our chances. That's why we're winning all these games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming on here talking about, oh, Jackson slipped in the box again. You know, we played really well, but again, if we took this chance, if we took that chance, it's not happening right now, bro. So I'm happy that we finished off pre-season with another win, another convincing performance. Obviously, we played in the Club World Cup, so we only had 2 games. But again, the Club World Cup, we won it, bro. You know what I mean? We won that whole competition. So momentum right now, we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going, people, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Sanchez, they couldn't do anything for the goal. I thought overall he was good in the box. He didn't do nothing wrong, really. You know what I'm saying, people? But anyway, man, let me know what you think of my thoughts. Shout out Delap, man, because I don't like this thing where people are trying to start this internal beef now because Jackson's gone and Jackson's little fanboys and that running about trying to cook Delap when it's fucking João Pedro that took your boy's chain. You know what I'm saying? And he's a different profile as well. You know, it doesn't make sense to have a João Pedro and then you bring Jackson off the bench. It's the same thing. Yeah? Just one of them is a worse finisher. Delap comes on, you see the difference. Yeah? This guy's going to be key for us going forward as well. You know what I mean? But in a bit, people, man. Bless. Love.